GM Lighting is a lighting manufacturer that's specialized in decorative and commercial fixtures, as well as under cabinet lightings and LED tape. And due to the short length of this webinar, we have decided to focus our effort into talking about LED tape today. So here's just a few applications where you can find LED tape. You have it in residential application, commercial application, and when you have a more specialized project as well. So Vanessa, would you mind breaking down for us the different components needed in a project involving LED tape, please?
Thanks, Corinne. Okay, so we have, obviously we have the tape, which is what a lot of people think of when we're talking about applicating this tape light, but you also have to take in mind, we have power, we have connectors, and we also have extrusions. Okay, so we're going to start off with power. So on the power side, it's important to understand that GM Lighting offers a variety of different voltages. So we do have 120 volt, 12 volt, and 24 volt options available for your drivers. We have dimming and non-dimming options. We have magnetic and electronic, and we have different wattages. So we have from 20 all the way up to 200 watts. So GM Lighting actually created this wonderful, it's a flow chart. Okay, so you would start off with the product that you are selecting and then select which voltage you would be using. Do I need a dimmable driver, a non-dimmable driver, all the way down till the end until you get your product code. What's really interesting with this is we always get requests from customers, which driver do you suggest, which driver do you suggest? So we're going to actually highlight the two that we will be focusing on. So they're electronic drivers and they're universal voltage, okay? So we've selected it here, the dimming versions, universal. Why we do love them is because they come in the 12 and 24 volt DCs. They output a constant voltage, okay? Input voltage is 120, 277. It's rated class 2 and it is dimmable. Okay, tape light, right? Are we so excited to see this beautiful tape? Okay, so we actually have a whole bunch of different tapes, okay, varying from 12 volts to 24 volts to even 120 volts direct. We have different wattages per foot. So we have 1.5 all the way up to 5.8 watts per foot. We have different color temperatures ranging from 24K all the way up to 5,000K. We even have RGB, so the red, green, and blue W, which would be the white spectrum. You can have any of these tapes indoors or for outdoor applications. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what we mean and what's the differentiation between the economy, the specification, and the professional type product. Okay, so when we're looking at our economy product, we're going to show it up here at the screen. So we're going to see here that the diodes are quite spaced apart. Okay. If we're going to be comparing this to our professional series, which is what we're going to be showing you on the next slide, our diodes are much closer together. So you're getting much more wattage per foot. And if we look at specification, you're going to come in contact with all of the different more specialty type applications. So one of our most famous one is our COB. So it's our chip on board, which is a whole linear strip of LEDs. So you cannot see those diodes. We even have a very, very, very tight chip on board, but diode very close together. And we even have our RGB. So like I explained before, we will be talking about our professional series tape. Okay, what we're going to be finding just generally for this tape is you can have it indoor application or outdoor application. The outdoor application, Karin, would you mind showing it on the screen? It has the...
Yeah, absolutely. So you have the plastic on top of that to make sure that it respects the IP65 norm.
Yeah, So we have multiple different voltages. So we do have the 12 and the 24 volts available, 1.5 watts per feet all the way up to 5.8 watts per feet. Different color temperatures, again, from 24K all the way up to 5,000K. Different reel lengths, either 16-foot or 100-foot lengths. Different types of connectors in the bags, and your max runs up to 60 feet. Very, very important. So as to mention, our first, okay, what we were looking at first was our drivers, and what we're looking at now is our tape. So when we combined drivers and tapes together, we create the 5-year warranty. Okay, so if you use our tape with a different driver, or if you use our tape, a different driver with our tape, you will not get that 5-year warranty. Really important to keep it. Both products come from GM Lighting to keep that warranty. Okay, so like I explained, the one that we would be suggesting the most to our customers would be the 24 volt, the low voltage. This only means that you're actually going to have no voltage drop. Okay, when we're doing our runs, you're going to be able to get a maximum long run with this 24 volts, right? So we can do with our 1.5 watt as an example, you can do up to 60 feet in length. Okay, you have that IP65 option as well. You're going to get about 500 lumens, okay, per foot, and these are field cuttable. Next, we talk about connectors. So I think that this is probably the most important part, other than the fact that they do have fabulous tape. This is the part where you're going to be able to get that business, and where GM Lighting has become such a reference when we talk about LED tape. They've created these connectors, okay, that are called SureTight. What this means is that there is no welding or no use of soldering tools needed to connect tape and wire or tape to tape together. Karin, would you like to show us what this little connector looks like?
Absolutely. So as you can see on my screen, the connector will ensure a tight and a clear electrical connection for most of the GM Lighting tape. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so when you say that to an end user, you do not need soldering skills to connect this tape either to your driver or between runs. People are very happy about this. Other mention that we get from customers is saying, oh, well, my LED tape never sticks. It always unglues itself from the surface where we mounted it. So it's very important to understand that the LED tape, okay, used, the tape on the back is 3M, okay? Everyone knows 3M tape, but 3M actually uses the VHB, which is the very high bond glue in the back, okay? Next up is channels. So we went through the 3 first steps, and then at the end, sometimes you need channels and sometimes you don't. When do you use a channel? So you would use a channel in a situation where, as an example, I'm doing an application outdoors and I'd like to light some stone steps, or I would like to use some LED tape light on my wooden deck. These 2 types of materials are very porous. If I were to stick my 3M tape to the wood or to stone, this would not create a proper seal for the tape. It would eventually fall off because moisture and air would get behind the tape. This is where channels would come in. So GM Lighting has multitudes of channels where you can insert your tape to keep that 3M tape nice and stuck. Okay, so this comes in different lengths. We have 4-foot or 8-foot lengths. These are all cuttable and adjustable to whatever length that you need, and these are all field cuttable, so you can use a saw in field to cut whatever length that you need. These are architectural grade, okay, which means that our lenses used with our professional and our specification tape do not show diodes. Also very important to note that with every length, whether it's a 4-foot or an 8-foot, you get 2 mounting clips. So the one that we would recommend the most is our CHL XD MD, okay, which is I think Karin is doing an unboxing.
I am doing an unboxing. So Here's the large spectrum of channels that we have, and the XDMD would be this one.
So the reason we would suggest the XDMD is because it does accommodate our SureTight connectors. Okay, this means that you can do the non-soldering field installation that you want and even get that extrusion going, no problem. Like it says here on the screen, accepts all of our GM lighting tape. You have a 45-degree angle that you can actually see here on the screen. Cut to custom lengths, and you can even install it either cove, you can do it directly on your wall, or you even have an adjustable bracket. Next up, we do have what we would call mud-in or drywall accepting channels, okay? So this here is for an installation that would be recessed, whether it be in the ground or in a wall. We have a little video to show you of how easy this would be as an installation. So this is going to create so many more opportunities for you to really go and create that wonderful space, get something a little more fancy. Beautiful. So we have different styles of, you're showing my bedroom too quickly, Karin. So we have different sizes, obviously. So we did show you guys the surface mount channels that we had. These are the recessed. Okay, so we do have different sizes, pre-perforated. I'm just going to show you a few examples. Different depths, different widths. Yeah, and yes, so this was, I keep joking with Corinne. I was like, this is my bedroom. They came last week to shoot the picture for our webinar. So this is obviously not my bedroom, but it's a very nice example of what you can, a different application that you can do in a room setting. This can be either commercial or residential, obviously.
Amazing. All right, just to sum up what Vanessa said. So again, these are the things that you will be needing if you need to do an application with LED tape. When it comes to power, so you're gonna have the choice between magnetic and electronic drivers. For the LED tape, I think it was well explained. You have the choice between 12 volt, 24 volt, and 120 volt line. A large spectrum of color ranging from 24K to 5000K. We have the economic LED tape. It was well explained before, and Vanessa is showing it again on your screen. You have the professional LED tape, which is the one that we have talked about today. And again, I have two examples again in front of me, so you can see our how the diodes are spread between the economic and the professional one. And we have the specification graded LED tape. So again, just to name a few, you have the chip on board tape, you have the twist task tape, and then you also have the RGB tape. Thank you, Vanessa. So you have the twist task?
Yeah, this is the twist task and the RGB. And before you guys ask the question, can these be controlled through Wi-Fi? Can I control this on an app? You definitely can. So GM actually launched their Lux Control application a few weeks ago. So this is actually going to permit you to control your LED tape light. What can we do? So we're actually going to be adding on, it would be called a controller. So any type of application, you add a controller, which makes it then communicate with your application over Wi-Fi. They've also come out with wall dimmers. They've come out with wall outlets and the movable mini outlets that all contain a hub. So you can then control them through your Lux Control app. Other fun fact is that you can actually do the controls through your Google or your Alexa.